Security Arrangement NATO haven't declared any official warfare against Russia, but US and its allies have started economic warfare against Russia. It has been seen mostly in the form of economic sanctions. Russia is blaming the US and NATO for Ukraine invasion, and US is holding Russia accountable for the invasion. Economic sanctions are broadly related with the financial messaging system SWIFT, which facilitate international fund transfer. SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. In 1973, born SWIFT is a secure messaging network for international transactions, and it has monopoly in the international financial transactions on which Russia is also dependent, and banning Russia from the SWIFT network will be a blow to the Russia economy. Critical point is, aren't there any alternatives to the SWIFT for Russia? Answer is yes. There are alternatives to this, by which Russia will save itself from the Western economic section. And the interesting part is, we will exploring the Indian angle to this. India being one of the world's largest economy and Russia's historical partner as well as the major defense supplier, SWIFT sections more or less will also affect the India, so it's mandatory for us to look for an alternative. The only name which pops out as an alternative to SWIFT is UPI, Unified Payment Interface, which has revolutionized the digital payment system. SWIFT links 11,000 banks and financial institutions over 200 countries, and 40 million financial messages are recorded on daily basis. SWIFT is not a bank but an instant messaging service for international transactions. Western allies are the main overseers of SWIFT. It follows Belgian law and EU decisions. Its headquarters is located in Belgium, but its biggest center is located in Virginia, US. That's why SWIFT is hugely influenced by US. Russia is the second largest user of SWIFT after the US. India and China also use the SWIFT network. Iran lost 30% of its revenues due to the SWIFT ban in 2012. To deal with such unhealthy monopoly of SWIFT, Russia has created the alternative called a system for transfer of financial messages in 2014. China also did the same and introduced its own cross-border interbank payment systems, CPIS. But both the systems are not capable enough to challenge the SWIFT. Who will challenge the SWIFT after all? Definitely, we can look after the Indian UPI to avoid the harm caused by economic sanctions against Russia and formation of economic monopolies in the international. We should represent the SWIFT alternatives in front of the world. To achieve this, India can develop its cross-border payment system in collaboration with nations facing US sanctions. In 2021, Economic Times has reported that India and Singapore are planning to link UPI and PayNow to reduce dependency on international systems that will help the countries in the financial transaction without any international dependence. UPI and PayNow are highly efficient systems that can perform the transactions at very high speed. Scholars have concluded that this payment system can reduce the transaction cost from 5% to 2%. UPI is fast as well as user-friendly as compared with SWIFT. That's why it has huge potential to compete against the SWIFT and expand globally. India's neutral stand on international arena will not threaten any country about India's monopoly. Also, India is producing the massive talents in terms of technology, which will help us to make the better payment system alternatives than Russia and China. India's soft powers will be helpful in success of its international payment system as compared to Chinese system. Many European countries will also be included in our system later on, because many European nations are already suffering due to the sanctions imposed by USA on Russia. Because they are hugely dependent on Russia for the energy resources. They are suffering because they don't have any other payment alternative than SWIFT. It will be of great help for European nations if they get an alternative from SWIFT. In this way, bilateral UPI-based networks, UPI-based GPI and global digital currency-based GPI can challenge the SWIFT huge money. Guys, this was our analysis where we have discussed about the chances of SWIFT getting replaced by UPI. If you have liked our video, please hit the like button, share with your friends and subscribe.